scriptural wisdom in the face of such trials. The Gospel of Mark also demonstrates an acute awareness of Jesus' identity among demons, in stark contrast to the disciples' confusion. This is exemplified in the episode where Jesus exorcises demons named Legion, a possible allegorical reference to the Roman military. Mark, along with other Gospels, suggests that those opposing Jesus are under satanic influence. Luke and John narrate Satan's possession of Judas as a prelude to Jesus' betrayal. The Gospel of John reaches a climax in its portrayal of blame for Jesus' death, where it asserts that the Jewish people, as descendants of their true father, the devil, are beyond redemption. The apocalyptic vision shared in the Book of Revelation, authored by John of Patmos around the year 90 to 100, vividly portrays God's intervention in the twilight of human history, primarily to bring retribution upon Rome for its oppression of Christians. This scripture details a narrative where Satan, bound within hell's depths, operates through emissaries. Among these, a key figure emerges, labeled as the Beast and the Deceiver. Notably, the term Antichrist is absent from Revelation, but present in the 3 Johannine letters. The deceiver is depicted as a charismatic figure, misleading many, identifiable by the mark 666, the number of the beast. John's visions also echo themes from Isaiah 14, a denunciation of the Babylonian king, who arrogantly likened himself to the morning star. This comparison led Jerome, in his 4th century Latin translation of Hebrew scriptures, to equate this figure with Lucifer, a name that gained widespread popularity in the Middle Ages. In Revelation, Satan's confinement in the abyss persists for most of the narrative, being released only for a climactic confrontation after Christ's millennium reign. This juxtaposition of Christ, symbolized as a lamb triumphing over such a formidable adversary, culminates in Satan's defeat and his consignment to the lake of fire, identified as the Dead Sea. The New Testament also delves into the theme of Jesus' dominion over the netherworld. Luke's Acts of the Apostles asserts that Hades could not, narrates Jesus preaching to spirits imprisoned from ancient times. This narrative evolved by the 2nd century, answering questions about Jesus' activities between his crucifixion and resurrection, and how ancient righteous individuals could attain salvation without knowing Christ. The concept of Christ's descent to hell, battling Satan for the souls of the virtuous, and emerging triumphant with these souls, including figures like Adam and Plato, became canonized in the Nicene Creed of the 4th century, known as the harrowing of hell. By the 2nd century, Christian doctrine increasingly personified evil, targeting Jews, women, heretics, and pagan practices. Pagan gods were reinterpreted as Satan's representatives. Satan's renowned depiction draws influence from the Greek deity Pan and the Celtic god Cernunnos. Pan, a mythical figure from Greek lore, initially emerged as a rural deity in Arcadia, residing amidst Greece's mountains and woodlands. As the guardian of shepherds, one of his notable symbols is the Lagobalon, a tool for catching hares. Distinctly non-human in appearance, Pan possesses goat-like legs and horns emerging from his head. His strong link to music, particularly his invention of the syrinx or panpipes, highlights his musical influence, even inspiring Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's opera, The Magic Flute. This opera is often associated with mystical elements and Freemasonry. J.M. Barrie also drew from Pan for his creation of Peter Pan and his iconic flute, a symbol intertwined with male sexuality and sacredness. Regarding Pan's lineage, he is commonly believed to be the son of Hermes, the Greek deity linked to Hermeticism, and a nymph. Hermes is often equated with the Egyptian god Thoth, the supposed author of the Emerald Tablets of Hermes or Thoth. Cernunnos, a pivotal figure in Celtic mythology, shares traits with Pan. Known for his depiction with stag antlers or horns and frequently a torque, He symbolizes nature, plants, animals, and fertility. Cernunnos, often called the Horned One, is a significant figure in ancient Celtic art, stretching from Ireland to Romania. He embodies nature, fruit, grain, animals, fertility, and abundance. His role as an ancestral deity is speculated, though the scarcity of Celtic written records leaves much to interpretation. Julius Caesar, in his Gallic Wars, drew parallels between Celtic and Roman deities, likening Cernunnos to Dispater, the Roman god of the underworld, akin to Pluto. The frequent portrayal of Cernunnos seated cross-legged has led to comparisons with Buddha. His stag antlers or horns, possibly hooves, signify strength, speed, and virility. Antlers, shed annually, symbolize regeneration and were often fashioned into phallic talismans. This deity, revered across Celtic regions from Ireland to Romania, is a symbol of nature, fruit, grain, animals, fertility, and prosperity, earning the epithet the Horned One. Cernunnos' significance is further highlighted by his possible role as an ancestor deity. However, due to the scarcity of written Celtic records, the specifics of his worship and symbolism remain largely speculative. Julius Caesar's accounts in his Gallic Wars draw comparisons between Celtic and Roman deities, aligning Cernunnos with Dispater, the Roman god of death and the underworld, possibly related to Pluto. The comparison of Cernunnos with Dispater intertwines with ancient Sumerian worldviews. The contrast between Cernunnos or Dispater, who governed the underworld, and the celestial deity An or Anu, akin to Zeus Pita, Jupiter, or Jove, is striking. This dichotomy mirrors the later linguistic evolution from inferior or infernum to inferno or hell, emphasizing the underworld's association with darker, subterranean realms. In the belief systems of what was later termed as paganism, the divine was thought to physically dwell within temples. This notion, seen as an association with Satan by the Catholics, may have its roots in ancient civilizations like Sumer, Akkad, Assyria, and Egypt. The ceremonies like the Mispai, or the opening mouth ceremony, the depiction of Satan as a half-man, half-goat entity, originated from the Greco-Roman deity Pan, symbolizing fertility. Pan's notable characteristics, including his hooves, horns, and notably prominent phallus, shaped the later visual portrayals of Satan. Even the ancient figure of Pazuzu may have contributed to the creation of modern